Nigga, we ain't gotta be nice. Nigga, we ain't gotta sell drugs. Nigga, we really rock right, nigga. Nigga, we truly godlike, nigga. Nigga, we been building space stations. Nigga, we are the United Nations. Nigga, the globe is too small, nigga. Niggas will always run y'all, nigga. Nigga, we are worth support, nigga. Nigga, we really are important, nigga. Peace, black people. We are important. We are worth supporting. These are the elevation sessions rooted in my book, 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation. This session is rooted in chapter 2. These are the cleanup years. It's not about what you've been through. It's about what you do next. After the damage and after the bad decisions, after the chaos. What happens when there is no crowd, there are no excuses, and no more time to waste. It's time for just you, your choices, and the life you're about to build. These are the cleanup years. Today, I'm here with my cousin Michael Jr. out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, truck driver, entrepreneur, and much, much more. What's up, cousin? How you doing today?
Oh, doing good. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? I was trying to build you up, man, you know?
That's right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Hey, it's a beautiful thing, man, you got going here. Can't wait to be a part of this success you got. It's shining.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. You know, these episodes, you know, it's about like the cleanup years, coming from the bottom, getting to the top, you know what I mean? And so I kind of from this stuff, you know what I'm saying? We're looking at the diamond grill there. So I'm gonna start with, you know, like the internal work that the internal work that happened to get you to where you at. And so I'm gonna start with asking you, like, what does transformation actually mean to you?
Transformation means a lot. That means renewing the mind and thinking and acting. That's what it means. Yeah, you gotta act on whatever your new mindset is. You gotta move. Yep, that's transformation.
Yeah. So what was there any, like, what was one of your first real habits that you had to break? You know what I mean? Like you had to like change your relationship to it.
I think the first real reaction I had to break was just to give it all up and start over fresh, you know. You gotta give it up. I saw myself moving past one point in time in life. I wasn't reaching no goals right there. So
the fast life was that habit. You was addicted to the fast life.
The fast life and the crash life.
Right.
Once that crash happened. Exactly. Once that happened.
So how did you do that? Like how did you break that habit? What were some of the things that you did to break that habit?
Well, for one, I just sat and thought. I wasn't locked up or none of that. I had to actually sit, think, rechange this mind frame. I gave up a lot of habits. I quit drinking, quit drugs. I quit a lot of things in life that I saw myself just working for nothing, pretty much working to just do the daily routine that I've been doing for years and years and years. So when I stopped and I said, man, I'm gonna take control. I mean, that's a big step. You know it just as well as I do. Yeah, I changed everything, man. I just stopped. I gave up and said, I want to make it. I want to be a leader for myself, for my family next. And once I did that, it was no looking back. You know, I really started seeing rewards of what I actually done.
Right.
The change that was made, I started seeing the rewards that I needed to see in life. And I never look back. I mean, you know, as we get older and we get all these graves, it's hard to go back to that old way.
That's right.
You like this change.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you enjoy the change. You know, you can appreciate
it. Like in the book, I said the mind is the most powerful tool we possess. It is either a weapon that forges our success or a cage that keeps us in mediocrity. You kind of been on both sides. So, like, when did your mind stop being the trap and you start using it as a weapon to really like get forward in life. You know, like that it's part of that eternal work.
Well, you mean year wise? I can say
Or
I can
whatever,
really
or
say
whatever.
that. Well, when I made 40, we're
Yeah.
going back a decade ago. But when
Yeah.
I made 40, I pretty much had it made up in mind, man. I was living to die, which we all are going to do
Uh,
that one day. But I was actually living that
yeah.
way, whether I lived or died. And so I think when I made 40, you know, with that term they always use, Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40.
Yeah.
Well, I took it a different way, like, Lordy, Lordy, I made it to 40.
Uh.
So I just made up in my mind, man. I just
Yeah.
enough. You start feeling it. You
Yeah.
want to do what's right. You know what I mean? You look back
Yes,
at
sir.
your aunts, uncles, people that's much older, and you realize, like, golly, man, they ain't got no friends. But no, it ain't about that. It's more
Yeah.
about the mindset that they change to eliminate a friend, a foe, or anything like that in order to move on these steps in life, in those last quarters of
Yeah.
life, that makes the difference. And I want to be there to see it, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping and praying that my life and health stays healthy like I am to get these years
Yeah.
out the way. But you got to change somewhere. If you don't
Yeah.
change and start rethinking in the mind frame, setting them goals, writing them down, and executing, you're not gonna make it.
So
Straight up.
then what keeps you grounded when you hit those tough moments and you feel tested and things happen? Like what keeps you grounded? What
I
keeps
think the
you
man,
focused? Sorry about that.
your, no problem. Your mind. If you don't have a
Yeah.
strong mind, you're lost for one.
Now,
So we
how do
always
you
had
keep your mind strong? Like, what do you do? How did your mind become strong? If it was once, as you say, not on the right path, so to speak. How did you get your mind strong? What did you do?
well, of course, it take a lot of reading.
Yes.
Some things that the things that you wasted time on, those things you incorporate with to help your time go by now.
Uh
And
huh.
I always read. I always tried to stop and take my time to analyze what was my next move, if it was the best move. So when
Right.
I stopped and I said, man, I'm gonna try to make my next move the best move every time, it's been working for me. I had to do a lot
Yeah.
of I ams. I am, I am, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
And them 40, I had about 40 I ams
Yeah.
wrote down. But them I am start
Right.
paying off, and
So you
I
you
had to
you kind of
do
you kind of you kind of were writing things down. It sounds like
it. Yeah, I always wrote it
you kind of
down
writing
and
yourself into
executed.
existence. Because
That's right.
in chapter 2, I talk about rewriting your program, like, literally writing down what you want to do until your mind believes it. I think the quote is like, this is not mindless repetition. This is instruction. This is,
That's right.
so I'm trying to figure out what mental program did you go through? How did you get to this, point of being able to have, your six fronts, studded out. You know what I mean?
Well, that part right there, you get anything in life you want. Of course,
Yeah.
anybody know that, but them days we was putting our money where our mouth was. That's all that we was
That's
just trying
right.
to put our money where our mouth was, man, and make a statement,
Yeah.
that, hey, they real serious, this don't
Yeah.
come out. And that's just go with the territory down where we're from, people
Yeah.
have gold and some have the diamonds. The one that had the diamonds, we were more the kings of the neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
that meant a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I reached the level that a lot didn't. So,
Right.
but backing away from that, it all was more about, man, if I could take the time to do this, I could take the time to do that. And I really took the time
Yeah.
to slow down. I always watch, and you know it, we always seen our aunties and uncles reading and stuff like that. And we always would pass by and they drinking their tea or coffee or drink or whatever, but they always was reading. And so as we saw and we getting to this age we in now, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They always was reading something, you know. So now at the age that we are, I can see myself gradually being that same thumb pager, you know, just turning the book, looking at something, reading some kind of news, you know, and that's what we have nowadays to grow on. If you don't read, you don't try to pick up on no chapter, you're lost. You're lost in time. You're gonna be lost with news. You're gonna be lost within yourself, to be honest. And I think that's just a tool that everybody need, man. I need to take time and try to study and realize in life what's going to get them to that change that they need, that bondage and change they need to break, you know. And I realized it, and I knew I needed to get a better method for my own self in order to be a better person. So yeah, them writing that stuff down and executing, man, was done a long time. But then when I start putting the work in, that's when I start seeing the faith that worked for the change that I was looking for. And yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, you know, you're using your growth as a 5-year-old self, wouldn't even believe you doing.
Oh, right about now. Probably being I probably would have never left home, man. I probably would have never left my 25. I wouldn't have left the neighborhood. But these days, I don't even care to be in the neighborhood.
Look at yourself right now. Who are you? More importantly, who do you want to be? Every day you make choices. Every day you move. But are you really living or just existing? You were never meant to be stuck. You were never meant to just survive. You were built to build, to lead, to master. Enough. The difference between staying the same and leveling up is one decision. One moment when you say, no more. I refuse to stay here. 200 years from niggas to gods. The transformation starts now.
Many miles away. I guess back in them days it was different because you couldn't leave it. That was our job. We couldn't leave. We couldn't leave the base. You know, we had to stay on base. But nowadays, as we got older and experienced life and moved on, you know, I found that, you know, my charity is better to be away from home. I always had a good job working out of state. And for me to go back home to a place that, you know, is more poverty stricken for my type of work in the transportation and trucking business, it's a blessing. You know, it's I'm able to go back and provide a lot better back where I'm from. And that change was hard. But it come with a lot of patience. It came with a lot of thinking because with me being a traveler and saying, man, I can go travel all over the world. That was cool. But to be able to have a steady job in one particular area that I had been working in and establish me a position, well, I got people fighting for my job way over here, man. They want my job. You know what I mean? I found a honey hole and they didn't want it back then. Now it's a hot spot. Everybody wants it.
So you gotta stay on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's part of like mastering your trade, which also the books talks about. But we were kind of getting into the cleanup years. Is there a legacy you like to leave, or like what is the kind of example you want your story to be for someone that's, you know, watching you today?
Well, I would just ask anybody to just follow their own path. I probably will leave a legacy that most may know and some that may not never know, but for the most part, just to be honest, sincere with yourself, do what you feel is best, especially if you have a family. Make that change, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, make the
yeah,
change. Think about what's important, man. Think about the struggle that you've been through, and to
yeah.
come out of that struggle, man, and say, thank you, I made it. That's a
Yeah.
blessing right there, you know.
Yeah. Not, like I said, there's a book, there's a line in the book where I say we don't just speak
Yeah,
change.
because you're only giving yourself a hard time. Nobody else is.
Yeah,
You're the only one can give yourself that hard time. So if you change, you can make that time a lot better in life. Uh, so I know it. It's a lot of others that know it and been through it, and we here to succeed. You know, when you get to these golden years, man, I want to be relaxed. I want to have a peaceful golden years, if that can be possible. But that's what I'm looking at. You know, and
right,
I'm hoping that this change that anybody can make in life will give them peace, happiness. For one, accountability to your own self, because
right.
you can't go out there and ask nobody else to be accountable for you. So without this change in your life, you know you'll be accountable for yourself and your action.
Yeah.
And that go for any
Okay.
man or woman.
Like I said,
Yeah,
don't just speak change, become the change.
that's right.
That's one of the lines that I say in the book. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like, is there any part in closing here? Is there any part of your story that you feel like shows that you're not just talking about changing your life, you actually did it? Like, is there any part of your story you feel is actually you showing that I was once this and now I'm that? And how did that, you know what I mean, how did that feel for you?
Oh well, the feeling is always going to be great, no matter if you
Yeah,
change or not. But I think the betterness. I mean, let me say this in a better way. I think the truth of the matter is the change is going to be inside you. It does not
yeah,
for nobody else. So you're going to feel better, you're going to know better, and you're going to do better. You know, these are
yeah,
things that we were taught. My mom taught us this. She
yeah.
always said you got to have a GCF degree, good common sense. If you don't have a GCF degree, you cannot go anywhere. And so, I mean, it take common sense. I mean, if you're in a situation where you can make this change, I mean, you don't have to be incarcerated. You don't have. It's better to do it in the free world
Straight
than
up.
out there in behind the walls. But
Right.
this change can be made anywhere. But the example is more better when you able to do it, execute, and you can see this change within yourself, and your life will be a lot better. I mean, not
Right.
just for you, your family. I mean, you can be accountable for your own actions. You know, you don't need AA and all these other different places. You can do this on your
Yeah.
own. Stay strong
Yeah.
and build yourself up. You'll have an empire. And I
Yeah.
think that's what any king and queen will do these days. If they really see fit and they want right, they're gonna make it happen, man. It's
Yeah.
just too many of us that went through the struggle that haven't made it out, and the ones that have made it out, that's reaching back, is the ones that's trying to help pull everybody together. You know.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Overall, you know what I mean? We closing up here. We got 200 years from niggas to God, the guide to becoming a mature nation. Right now, I feel like with the cleanup years, you are actually proof that works work. When you clean up your mind, your body, your habits, and your whole life starts to shift. So, is there one thing about the book overall? What's your overall take on the book and how you feel about it, man? Talk to me. What did your cousin do here?
Man, you did a beautiful job with that book, man. I gotta tell you. Nah,
Yeah.
you've been on me. You've been on me about this book, and I told you how long that book took you. You say 2 years. You wanted to
Yeah.
review in 2 days, man. I'm trying to enjoy this book so I can be on point to let you know I ain't slip on no parts that you wrote on this book, man. I want to
Yes,
be precise. And I just got through reading about 10 times.
sir.
Second, third chapter,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful book, man. It's well wrote.
Yeah.
I think you did a good job on it, man. It's an inspiring book. From what I see on it, man, it is a real, true transformation. If you take that tool and use it, you can transform and evolve your mind into something that you never would think. I mean, you could be a self leader. Really
Yes, sir.
can, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
It is for
Master
certain.
self.
For certain, it is a great, phenomenal book, bro. It really is. I mean, you can master the keys to your success, and
Yeah.
I see that as being a very good tool, man. I mean, it's in the powers and makings of anything of a man thinking. I mean, it'll stand next to any one of those books, I feel. And these are
Yeah.
books that I read over and over again, locked up.
Right.
So, they didn't help. But I can say, is reading this book, it has a power of movement that can make you really catch yourself on the inside and say, hey, man, why don't I try this? Why don't
Yeah.
I try to do it this way? So it has a lot of good tools, man. And I think any man that's willing to succeed in life, this is just another well-written handbook, which is something that goes in any man toolbox.
Yes, sir.
So I feel that this is worth it to be on the top shelf in any toolbox that a man has if he's ready to try to change and move some things around in his life. This is a good guide. It's not just about where we come from. It's about where you're going. And
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you 100% because, you did a good job. I ain't backing you because I know you. I'm backing you because you wrote something worthy of reading, you know.
Right on, man. Right on. Right
And,
on,
and,
man.
I don't like to read too much, nothing but green. If it don't have a green seal of approval on it yet, I don't really want to read all the rest. But I had a lot of time because I took the time and I really did take my time and it was inspiring. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to have this book directly from you. So,
Right on.
it's up there, cuz, and I
I
salute you.
appreciate that. I
You know,
appreciate that.
you're welcome.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. So yeah, man, again, we're gonna close it out. So if this episode reminds you again, like it's never too late to change, even if you gotta do something over and over and over again, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? But if you already
Right.
haven't got it, man, go pick up the collector's edition, man. You get the full ebook, the audio book, the exclusive artwork, a soundtrack that's done by me. You get all the exclusive stuff to help you move different, think different, and grow strong. So peace, black people. We are important. We are worth supporting. These were the elevation sessions. See you next time. Right on, cuz Michael Jr., man. Thanks for being
Peace.
here.
All right, you're welcome. Take care, cuz.
Right on.